these are my Premier League predictions for match week 13 this weekend. We're starting off, we kick off the weekend on Saturday afternoon with Brentford versus Burnley. Both teams have been managing to pick up some results this season. I think they started off okay. However, for Burnley might be in serious trouble right now because they are in the relegation zone. They sit 19th right now. However, to be honest, I do think they actually can play very good football though. But this is going to be a tough game for Burnley away from home though. Against Brentford, which Brentford are actually very good. You know, they're much more stable team and organised than Burnley here. Igor Thiago, he's on fantastic form right now. He's even ranked in the top 10 goal scoring this season. And to be honest, I can see him scoring again this one. I'm going to go for a score prediction of Brentford 2, Burnley 0. Up next, we got Manchester City up against Leeds United. Now, what the hell is actually going on with Manchester City right now? Because they have lost back-to-back games in all competitions, you know. They've lost to Newcastle last weekend, and they even lost to Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League, where Pep decided to make a fully rotated team for that. That is absolutely embarrassing, you know, I'll be honest. But Manchester City, look, don't count them out because you never know. They are in a title race, you know, and I think they should be able to win this game, though. They cannot afford any more slip-ups here. Leeds, however, Daniel Farke's actually under pressure right now. Leeds sit 18th in the relegation zone right now, and there's no way that Leeds will actually do anything against Man City. So I'm going to go for score prediction of Manchester City to win this game 3-1. Up next, we got Sunderland versus Bournemouth. Now, this is actually a very interesting game, I can't lie, because it's 7th versus 8th place. Both teams have had an impressive start to the season until they have been, you know, their form has dipped quite a bit. Obviously, both teams will be looking to bounce back after recent performances. I can't lie, I can see goals in this game, and I see this, you know, being a draw here. I'm going to go for score prediction of a 2-2 draw between Sunderland and Bournemouth. Up next on Saturday night, we got Everton up against Newcastle. Both teams with big wins last weekend. Everton beat Manchester United last time out with 10 men, by the way. You know what? I'll have to give credit to them. Fair play. And Newcastle have beaten Manchester City. However, the problem is with Newcastle, their away form has been absolutely terrible this season. They even lost to Marseille in the Champions League in midweek. Newcastle need to actually step it up here, I'm afraid. However, I guess Everton, who are far organised and under David Moyes, to be honest, I can actually see a goal fest here. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw between these two teams. Up next, we got Tottenham Hotspur up against Fulham, also on Saturday night. Now, Tottenham Hotspur are in bad form right now. They got absolutely smashed, you know, in their last two games. I wouldn't say smashed because I think they played very well against PSG in the Champions League in midweek, even despite conceding 5 goals in that game. So, however, by the way, Tottenham conceded 9 goals in 2 games. They even lost against Arsenal in the North London derby last weekend. Can't lie. Frank might be under massive pressure. And by the way, Tottenham's home form has been absolutely abysmal as well. I mean, for Fulham have managed, you know, to pick up some results. So, however, away from home, which I'm very concerned, which is why they're going to struggle here. However, in my opinion, I am going to back Spurs here on this one because I feel like this is a game that they must win. So I'm going to go for a score prediction of Tottenham to win this game 2-0. On to Super Sunday, we got Crystal Palace up against Manchester United. Now, Manchester United are currently struggling right now because, like, in our last few games where we were 5 games unbeaten with 3 wins and 2 draws, and then we just lost to Everton in a horrible, you know, fashion. A team that was down to 10 men, by the way. That was an absolute disgrace from them. And to be honest, this is another hard game for Manchester United because we're up against a Crystal Palace team who have been in my opinion, they've been absolutely underrated this season. You know, they are picking up some form right now. They currently sit 5th in the Premier League right now, and Manchester United sit 10th place right now after 12 games being played. And besides, the last time we won away at Crystal Palace was 2020. It was over like 5 years ago. This is a tough place to go to for Manchester United. And look, but I'm still going to back us here. I can't lie. I mean, hopefully we can at least like get something here in this game, though. I'm going to go for score prediction of Crystal Palace 2, Manchester United 2. I mean, this is just my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if we get smoked again. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Next up, we've got Aston Villa versus Wolves. Now, Wolves currently right now sit rock bottom in the Premier League in 20th place with only 2 points this season. They are still yet to get their first Premier League win this season, though. When Rob Edwards came in, literally nothing has actually changed in that Wolves team. He's got a lot of work to do, I'm afraid. Aston Villa, they are flying right now. They currently sit in the top 4 right now. And look, Aston Villa are much more, better than they were from the start of the season. So I'm going to go for a score prediction of Aston Villa 2, Wolves 0. Next up, we got Nottingham Forest versus Brighton. Now, Nottingham Forest are absolutely flying right now. I mean, they're not in a bad position right now. They currently sit 16th in the Premier League, though. However, they are in a good position in the Europa League following their win against Malmo on Thursday yesterday. Nottingham Forest did get a huge win against Liverpool at Anfield. Sean Dyche's ball is in full effect. I'm saying this right now. However, they are up against a decent Brighton side, though, to be fair. But the last time these two met, Nottingham Forest absolutely destroyed them 7-0, though. Do I think it's going to happen again? I mean, it's definitely not going to happen, though. But I still think Forest will get the 3 points here. I'm going to go for score prediction of Nottingham Forest 2, Brighton 0. Up next, we got West Ham taking on Liverpool. Now, Liverpool are in absolute crisis right now. Arne Slot is actually under pressure right now. Liverpool have lost 9 losses in 12 games. That is absolutely, embarrassing. This goes down as one of the worst title defenses I've ever seen. However, West Ham have turned a little bit of a corner, though. They currently sit 17th place. And look, if West Ham were to win, they will climb up the table, though. The thing is, I watched their game against Bournemouth where West Ham went 2-0 up and threw it away. I mean, I don't even see Liverpool winning this game at all. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Up next, and finally, we got the big one. The biggest game of the weekend on Super Sunday night from Stamford Bridge, a London derby, where we got Chelsea and they take on Arsenal. This is a massive game for both clubs, this season. Because I can't lie, they are absolutely flying right now. Both teams with huge wins in the Champions League. Chelsea absolutely destroyed Barcelona and Arsenal have absolutely smashed Bayern Munich in midweek, though. This is actually going to be a very fun and exciting fixture ahead of ourselves today. However, Chelsea haven't beaten Arsenal in over 4 years, though. And their last Premier League win against Arsenal was 2018 at Stamford Bridge, though. However, Arsenal currently sit top of the Premier League. This game is basically all about first versus second place. This was a massive game in the title race, though. However, if Arsenal win, they go 9 points clear. If Chelsea win, they go 3 points clear, though. To be honest, I can see an absolute bang out here. I'm going to go for score prediction of Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2. I feel like Chelsea will turn up and give Arsenal a very good game. Chelsea will put in a good performance, though. And that wraps up my Premier League predictions for match week 13. Let me know in the comments down below whether you agree or disagree with them. Make sure to like, comment down, and follow for more content. And also, guys, I will be live for every single one of these games on TikTok. So make sure you guys tune into this stream. And I'll see you in the next video this weekend.